Cal, it's great to be back. We have our 18-year anniversary doing a radio show in Southern California, and we started in these very studios here. So, it's great to be back, and here we are, 18 years into this thing, and now we're on one of the best news radio stations, if not the biggest news radio station in LA. And so it's an honor to be here. We got some great advice for you guys today, especially when it comes to mortgages and real estate. But my first guest that's here with us this morning, she just sold their house. I think it was in Simi Valley, and they had about 1.8 in the bank. And Susan calls me up and says, "Hey, Fred, what should we do? Now that we have this money." And I said, "Well, the first thing that we should do is talk to your CPA and find out what you're going to be paying in capital gains tax, because it was above the $250,000 exclusion for her mom, because it was her mom's property." And so we figured out what the amount was that they needed to kind of put aside so they would be paying taxes on that. And then with the rest of the money, they wanted to invest it. So, Susan and I are friends on Facebook, and so she started asking about the Airbnb properties. And out where I live, the Airbnb properties, you can do them monthly, you can do them on the weekends, like for the Coachella music festivals and Stagecoach, and now they got the Power Trip. Me and Cal went to the Power Trip together. That was Cal stayed at my house for one night, I think.
Well, we hung out all day.
Yeah,
It was hot, and then we hung out at your house and went swimming in your pool.
that's right.
Everybody else there was just melting in the sun.
Yep, not us. We were in the pool, right? So that was fun. That was a fun day, and or a fun couple days. Some legendary bands. Not typically my kind of music, but I certainly liked. They were the biggest names in hard rock, history, I guess, right? So it was fun, and thanks to Cal, I got in for free. So he hooked me up. That was nice. But this morning, Susan is going to talk to us. And, thanks so much, Susan, for calling in on such an early hour. But I wanted her to tell us what happened after you spoke to your CPA. You had the money, you closed escrow, and you said, "Fred, talk to us about some investment opportunities." And what did I tell you? And we were buying, properties at like 440,000. We just closed one on Wednesday of this week. We closed our first one, and they're buying a few of them. And it was a 440,000, but during the winter months, they rent for anywhere from 5 to 5,600 a month. And on the weekends, you can also do short term, because this particular community, Desert Falls in Palm Desert, allows for short term, which means less than 30 days. Otherwise, it has to be 31 days or longer. So in this particular case, we were able to figure out what the rents were, and we looked at some of the others and what other people were charging, and we went on, to the Airbnb and VRBOs and figured out what, we're possibly going to make. Then I talked to a realtor that owns one herself, who happened to be the listing agent, and I said, "Hey, how much are you making on these per year?" And then I analyzed the numbers with them, and I said, this is a pretty decent investment. They're paying cash, so they're not going to have a mortgage on it. I mean, and so after we got done, or while we were going through the process, we were in escrow for two, we just closed one. Her mom was presented with an opportunity from a property manager of theirs. And the opportunity was presented as this great opportunity, and we don't want to give away any names. We're not here to bash anybody. We're just here to say this is what happened. And I wanted Susan to kind of expand on that a little bit when the property manager was calling up your mom. So that's exactly what we did. But what I want to specifically touch on is that, when you present an investment opportunity, right? I mean, this guy was in property management. I get it. But when you present a investment opportunity, the idea is to know what the numbers are. Like, is it going to be a good investment or a bad investment? And how do you figure that out? So what did I do with you guys when we were figuring out whether it was a good investment? Do Do you recall, or am I putting you on the spot? Well, analyzing investments is one of the things that we do. Thank you, Susan, so much for calling in so early on Sunday morning. We really appreciate it. If you have questions about investments, if you want to know if a property is going to cash flow, you want to figure out what the cash on cash return is, what the cap rate is, and how to figure out all those numbers. I have an Excel spreadsheet that explains all that. I just plug in the numbers. I'll show you what the numbers are. It takes me about 10 or 15 minutes to do it. I'll show you, whoever else wants to know it. You can send me a text right now. This is my personal cell phone right now. You can send a text or you can call me and then hang up and we can talk, later on in the week, whatever works for you. Or I can talk to you right after the show. 714-403-7334, 714-403-7334. Thanks, Susan, for joining us and sharing that with us, and appreciate it, and hope you have a nice Sunday.
One of the best places to be on radio in the world.
Yeah, well, LA's a big market, right? And we get a lot of calls, so that's what it comes down to. And I'm thankful. Business has been good over the last 33 years, and I was able to afford to buy a condo in Hawaii. And we were just talking about Airbnbs during the first segment, and giving one of my clients a investment opportunity when they sold a house in Simi Valley, and we figured out what they had to spend after they paid capital gains, and then we talked about doing Airbnbs out there, and then I have an Airbnb in Hawaii. So one of the things that I offer my clients is if they buy a home with me, I just let them stay at my condo out in Hawaii for free. It's like a 4 or 5 day little nice vacation. It's just one of the benefits of doing business with me. And they always say, Fred, what's the catch? And I said, no, there's no catch. You just use me to represent you as your realtor to buy a home, and I can go ahead and let you stay at my condo in Hawaii for free. It's just a perk, right? A nice thing. I charge like $230 a night, or it's a 1-bedroom condo on the island of Kauai. But, I let clients stay for free, and a lot of them are very thankful. And then, after they stay, then they end up giving me more referrals because they had a great time and they were appreciative of that. So those are some of the perks of dealing with us. In addition, we do no point, no fee, no closing cost loans. So we're a real estate brokerage, but we also do loans. And we've been doing loans for 33 years. I've been in the real estate business, having a real estate broker for 23 of those 33 years. So anyways, as doing the no point, no fee, no closing cost loans, they are getting more and more difficult to do. So like we used to be able to do them on a vacation home. We could do them on a rental property. Now, unless the loan to value is really low on a vacation home, we can't offer that on a vacation home unless you put down like 40% as a down payment. But if you do, then we can still do it as a vacation home. No points, no fees, no closing costs. And that's where we pay for escrow, title, credit report, appraisal fee, underwriting, all the costs that go into the cost of refinancing. We cover all those costs with a rebate. So just to give you an idea, as of Friday, our rebate was like 2.4% at 7% on a 30-year fixed loan. So 2.4% on a $500,000 loan. I don't know if you can get a loan that low in LA anymore, but let's just say 500,000 to give you an example. 500 times 2.4%, we're talking like $12,000. That's what the lender pays me. Out of the $12,000, we're going to pay all your closing costs, which would be about $5,000. Our company makes the difference, $7,000, and the client pays nothing. That's how the loans work. And we've been doing those loans since April of 2001, 23 years almost. So, we're known for that. Our website address is nopointsnoclosingcosts.com. We've been promoting this heavily on the radio for so many years. And what we do, and when you're talking to another company, they're going to say, oh, we can offer you a lower rate, a lower rate. Well, guess what's going to happen this year? The Fed is going to lower interest rates 3 times this year. So when the Fed lowers interest rates 3 times and you're a home buyer, what do you think is going to happen to the number of buyers in the marketplace when we're already getting multiple offers, especially down in Orange County? It's crazy down there. And that's where my office is in Newport Beach. So, when you have lower interest rates, guess what you think what's going to happen to the number of buyers? And let's just say the inventory stays exactly at the same level the inventory is at right now, and then you have more buyers. What's going to happen to the prices of those homes? What's going to happen to how many bids get or how many offers on one home? And someone's going to overbid on it, and someone's going to pay above the asking price, which may be above the market price of the home, but that's what you're going to have to do if you want to buy a home in Orange County today. That's just the facts, Jack, right? Like the movie Stripes. So I'm here to explain to you that if you are interested in looking at buying a home or anything like that, we have a great program because you can buy now, and then when the Fed lowers interest rates 3 times this year, we can lower your rate at no points, no fees, no closing costs. So each time the rate comes down, we can call you up after 4 months and say, hey, I want to let you know the rates have come down 0.5%. Are you interested in refinancing? And it doesn't cost anything. Your loan balance doesn't go up. It stays exactly the same. And I know you refinanced with this, Cal. I think you always mention we saved you about $1,000 a month. So we're in the business to help people make smart financial decisions. And if the rates come down after we do a loan for you, we can refi you again to the lower rate, and it doesn't cost anything the second, third, fourth, or fifth time. Our average client in the last 23 years has refinanced, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, all at no cost each time. Yeah, and it's a lot of work to refi, but as long as we do it, and it's like going to the doctor and getting a shot in the rear end, and the nurse says, "Okay, Cal, bend over, buddy," and you're like, "Oh no, I don't want to deal with this," and she goes, "Hey, that wasn't so bad, was it?" And you're like, "Oh, the shot's done," and you're like, "It didn't even hurt. I didn't feel it." So it's not that bad to refi. And I love that analogy because everybody hates to deal with the paperwork, but it's really not that bad. One of the things I always say on the radio is I go, BS is not a swear word. It means before Solomon. Before Solomon, you might have gotten a lot of BS, but once you deal with us, we're telling you the truth. You're going to get honest advice. We're going to be able to help you, save you from buying bad investments like our caller during the first segment. Make sure we protect you like a bodyguard, care about you, and make sure you make smart choices. So that's what we do. 714-403-7334. We're a real estate company. If you're looking to sell your home, we can sell them as low as 1%. If you already have a buyer, we'll handle the paperwork for you for just 1%. And take care of disclosures, SPQ, TDS, seller property questionnaire, transfer disclosure statement, all the important documents when you're selling a home. We handle all of that. Plus, we do no-cost loans, no points, no fees, no closing costs. We're Southern California's #1 true cost lender. We've been doing this for 23 years, and we are authority. We have a match and beat guarantee. We have an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. We got it all. We're like the real deal Holyfield. 714-403 7334, 714-403-7334. That's Cal Sol. I'm Fred Solomon. This is the Solomon Free Money Hour, and we'll be right back. Oh my God. I had an hour and 15-minute conversation with him. And what I found out was that his sister and so stole $1.3 million from him. And he doesn't have a living trust. And he's got a daughter, and him and his daughter fight. And I said, "Do you want your daughter to get all your money when you are no longer around?" He goes, "No, I don't." And then he goes, and I go, "Well, you gotta call my living trust guy because at least you can give the money to the Humane Society or something, some organization that you believe in." So his story was so entertaining, but unfortunately, it was hard to hear him, and he is a little bit long-winded, worse than me, and I didn't think that was possible. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's gonna be a tough call on that one. Oh my God. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, it's like old memories, like where we're raised our little kids in the baby carriage, and we get to come back and take care of it like it's like it's fun. It's fun to be back. I took about a 2-year hiatus off the radio. We've been doing a show like this in Southern California for over 18 years, and here we are back doing it again. So I met a lot of cool people. Jim Cramer. I don't know if you follow CNBC, but he was on. You guys had a lunch in the newsroom in there, and he was there, and he came in from New York, and he's got a big show on CNBC. real famous guy, but I met him here at KNX, so it's cool. Anyways, we're talking mortgages and real estate this morning, and it's happy Sunday morning to everybody driving around at this godly early hour of the day. And we're here. We do no point, no fee, no closing cost loans. And in the last it's been in the last 60 days, interest rates have dropped 1.25%. And the Fed said they're going to drop them 3 more times this year. And so if that happens, and you buy a house or you recently bought a house 60, 90 days ago, guess what? You can refinance that loan today because we can get you 7% on a 30-year fix at no points, no fees, no closing costs, where we pay all the costs associated with the loan on a primary residence. And so, the costs associated with the loan are escrow, title, credit report, appraisal fee, underwriting, processing, all those fees. So usually those fees are about $3,500. But what we do is we get a rebate, and out of our rebate, we pay those closing costs. So let's say you had 7.5% and you got a home 45 days ago, and we lower you to 7%, and we drop the rate a half a point. So you're gonna, on a $500,000 loan, if you drop the rate a half a point, that's $2,500 a year, which is basically about $200 a month that you would save. So it's like, falling down and landing on the ground and say, "Oh, look, honey, there's $200 right here," and you get to pick it up and put it in your pocket. And it was good that you fell down on the ground because now you were able to pick up the money. And you can do that once a month with a refinance. You just bend over and pick it up. The money's there lying for you. And if you take that $200 and you continue making the same payment that you were making before you fell down on the ground, did you fall down? Well, you fell down and caught $1,000. That's how much you saved.
Can only go down.
But it's fixed for 30 years. But if the rates do come down, you have the opportunity to refinance again. And so let's say you dropped your rate a half a point, and for every 1/8 of a point that you lower the rate and you continue to make the same payment you're making right now, and finding that $200 on the ground, and you decide, hey, I'm just going to put that towards the principal. And if you do that, for every 1/8 of a point you lower the rate, you get 12 months off the term of the loan. So if you have 30 years left on your loan, and then you lower the rate a half a point, and you keep making that same payment and save that $200 a month, and instead of putting the $200 in your pocket, you put it towards the principal. Well, then what will happen is you'll pay that loan off 4 years faster. And if your payment is $2,500 a month, let's say, 4 years times 12 months times 2,500, that's like $30,000. And then you multiply that by 4 years, you're going to save $120,000 over the life of the loan just by making the same exact payment that you're making right now and lowering the rate a half a point on a $500,000 loan. So that's why these zero-cost loans make sense, because you can save the money, it doesn't cost you anything to do it, and then when the Fed lowers interest rates 3 more times later this year, guess what? You can do it again. You just have to wait 4 to 5 months to do. But we can start it after 3 or 4 months. So that's the benefit of these loans. We hope that the rate, we make less money on these loans. We have a match and beat guarantee. We're A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau. Go check us out on Google. Google Solomon Financial Mortgage and Realty. I have, I think, 60 5-star ratings, and you can read all the comments. All my previous clients go on there and they write nice things about the guys at the office, and take advantage of these insanely low rates right now that they've come down 1.25%. It's not insanely low compared to what it was 2 years ago, but it's a lot better than 8%. 714-403-7334, 714-403-7334. Once again, you can send me a text on that number as well if you're driving, or someone else is in the car with you. You can text me right now, 714-403-7334. That's my personal cell phone number. We got a book, How to Raise Your Credit Score 100 Points in Less Than 45 Days. You can text me and get a copy of my free book, exactly how to do that. I know we're going to get a lot of requests for that, so please text me on this one, 714-403-7334. We just got giveaways so you guys can educate yourself. I got another book out there called Put Your Money Where Your House Is, and I wrote that back in 2008, and it's a great book. It's a definitive guide to home buyer and home sellers. So we got all these different things that we can give you, all for free. 714-403-7334, 714-403-7334. 334. Send me a text, all right, for those two books.
Yeah, and for anybody